Hunter, and today is day number 135 of 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. And I have our service hero here. This is my good friend, Veronica Rozenfeld. Now, let me tell you about Veronica. Veronica has actually helped me out a lot. I met her a while ago through a mutual friend of ours, Allison Larson, and I noticed her ability to just be able to read me. She was able to just get me. And she has helped me through spending time with me to get clarity on my message as I was really trying to figure out how to help my nonprofit. And I want to thank you, Veronica, for that, because you know that in itself, I was able to really see it in my mind's eye, and you really helped me with that. So I want to thank you, and I want to welcome you. So let's talk.
Thank you for such a generous testimonial. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, many of you are going to notice, and you're probably, she hasn't said much yet, but you're going to recognize the fact that she has an accent. Why don't you tell us, first of all, where are you originally from?
So I always joke that my body is very Californian. I've been here 19 years, but my accent is from Ukraine. So I grew up in Ukraine, Eastern Europe.
Eastern Europe. So I bet some of you could hear it. And when I first met you, I was like, okay, I wasn't quite sure, because one thing about California, we take on a lot of different, I grew up in Southern California, and sometimes people are like, did you grow up here? Or did you grow up there? It's like, no, they were probably my neighbors, because we kind of absorb, we're a bit spongy here, in this area, because we have so many people coming here. But so you went to school there too, didn't you?
Yeah, I finished high school, and I finished I started my finance degree there, and then came and finished it in California, in San Diego.
And you went to San Diego State University, didn't you? Yeah. Yes, around the corner from where I was for a while. My brother went there. All right, so then you become an accountant, right? Or you were an accountant?
I was working in finance and accounting for 12 years.
And then you decided to become an entrepreneur.
Well, not really.
Walk us through that, because it's fascinating what you do, and then tell us about what you're doing, because you haven't just helped me. You're a service hero for a lot of people. You've helped quite a few people. Well, I'm not going to give it all away. You tell us about you, okay?
Well, actually, it was quite interesting where you and I met, reconnected, right? You and I are reconnected this Saturday, and it was kind of crazy because it was 10 speakers at the event, and 6 out of 10 I impacted and did some work in either VIP clients capacity or any kind of energy work. It was 6 out of 10 speakers. So it was kind of crazy. What I do, I'm a CEO of You Rise Movement. So my name is Veronica Rozenfeld, and I'm CEO of You Rise Movement.
Okay, say that a little slower, because sometimes with your accent, people might not get it. So I want them to understand the name of your movement.
You Rise Movement.
There you go. Okay. In fact, I have something here that some of the colors and things that you're working with, right?
Yeah. Well, it has changed since then, but yes.
Oh, it has. Okay, we'll take it down. All right. So the You Rise movement. Okay, so tell us about all of that.
Well, when you clearly know who you are, what is very next for you, you rise to your greatness. And truly remember what you came to do. So in a way, that's what I little bit help you with, which we just reminded you of who you are.
Right. Yes.
And I do it through clarity and energy work. So I'm 4th generation intuitive. And I remove subconscious blocks energetically and release all of that. What do I mean by subconscious blocks? I mean that we all have cell phones, and our cell phones run by programs. Well, between the age of 0 to 7, we develop subconscious programs that we develop everything like a sponge. And we download it to subconscious, and it's become programs for our life. Well, when it comes to cell phones, we upgrade those programs twice a month at least. When it comes to our own subconscious, we don't. And so that's what I help to do. I basically upgrade you to the next level, help you to upgrade your thoughts and beliefs to the next level. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I like the way you're explaining that, because I haven't heard you explain it like this. And it makes so much sense, because people can kind of start thinking, okay, maybe I understand what she does. Maybe I don't. They're probably putting a little bit of the movies in there with it, and, not necessarily truly getting it, but thinking, oh yeah, no, I got it. I would never have thought of it this way, but it makes absolute sense.
Thank you so much. Well, yeah, that's one piece. The other piece is a clarity piece, and clarity comes, we all sitting and watching right now, Facebook Live. And wherever you are, you have a street number, street name, city, and a zip code. Mm-hmm. When it comes to life and business, very often we are very vague. And when you are vague, you cannot get to your destination as fast and as effectively. And so many of us end up driving 100 miles an hour to opposite direction, which brings me, how did I become an entrepreneur? So I vividly remember that in 2012, and by the way, I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. So some people are just, they are born and they want to be entrepreneurs. That's actually not my story. I wanted to be a stay-home mom, but God and universe had a very different plan for me, which I used to be resistant. And now I remove that resistance from everybody else. In 2012, I remember I was in the car parked to have a gas. And I had at the time, 2 toddlers in a car. They were 4 and 5, or 3 and 4. And the credit card would not go through. Once, twice, 3 times. That's the moment when I recognized that the divorce is real, and everything that I built for 10 years in this country was melting away, just like an ice cream in a hot sunny day in California. So I asked myself, how in the world did I get there? And I remembered when I came to this country and I was 18, in 4 short years, I finished college with finance degree, married the man of my dreams. Dreams change sometimes. They do. And we owned the house together, and I worked for corporate. So I asked myself, how did I do it? I did it because I had a very clear vision where I'm going with all of that. And I had no attachment how it's going to happen. So I figured out that if I'll figure out the system of how to do it, I get myself out of the hole again, because I was not working for 2 years with 2 toddlers, and accounting was very difficult for me because I'm dyslexic. And I had a big social anxiety, yes. So that's what I did. I created a system that works like a clock. And you, Tamara, know that what I say right now is, you've seen it, your own eyes. I work with owners of multi-million-dollar companies. I work with major speakers in the industry, and everybody. I work with startups and everything in between. Mm-hmm. If you tell me that would be my life, and somebody texted me today and they say, what are you doing? I said, I'm working in my pajamas. And people are like, oh, that's the life of your dreams. I said, well, not really, but yeah, it used to be life of my dreams. Now I have a new and bigger dreams.
What are your dreams? Okay, I'm fascinated. What are your dreams?
Well, it's not a dream. It's so the vision for my company is much bigger than what I'm having today. The vision of my company is You Rise movement, is that if you think about coffee, Starbucks comes in mind. If you think about search engine, you're going to go to Google. And then if you think in any transition in your life, it will be You Rise movement that will be helping you.
Oh, very
So it
cool.
will be a physical location in every major city in the US. And it will cover every challenge that you have. So it could start from, I've noticed that in this country, things are a little different than in the European countries. European countries has a lot of structure for how to go to the next level, where in this country we call it freedom. But to me, freedom is when you want a coffee and you have 6 different coffee shops and hundreds of recipes. And I call it chaos when you don't have recipes and you have to make it up and figure it out.
Yeah.
So starting from potty training, because in this country you have to potty train children in order to go to preschool, but working parents cannot physically do it, and stay-home moms, it's still difficult. So what if kids will come for 2-3 days together, create a community and learn how to do it together? And can you imagine when you have a friend from potty training time? It's amazing. So starting from that, and then I have idea for a spiritual after school program, because who told you that you need to write a book when you are older? Why can't you write a book when you are 10? My daughter started to write a book when you are 7. My daughter already was on a major stage at the age of 10. My 11-year-old wants to build his computer. It's gonna happen. Like I already said, I told him he gonna buy everything, all his parts for the Thanksgiving sale, and he's building his computer. And some people say, I've been criticized, oh, you think your kids are genius. Well, I think that every child is a genius. I just happen to have access to mine too, so I can build them like that.
Right, okay.
And I believe that my children is my business card. And I believe that every child is a business card of who you are, because they are our inner child. They show us what are we inside.
Okay, so let's recap. Okay, so I'm fascinated by the You Rise movement having a physical location in every city. How are you going to make that happen? Are they going to be owned by your corporation, or are they going to be franchised, or how are you going to do that?
Well, let me explain a little bit more about vision, then I'll go there. So after school, I wanna have programs for kids at the age of 12 to start their businesses. I wanna have programs for kids to figure out what's your destiny. So my major product, the major core product, it's creating a vision what is very next for you and remove subconscious blocks. And we're plugging it into after school program. We're plugging it into program. You can try to build a business when you're 12. And that's a time when you legally can stay home by yourself. And you could it will help you to figure out what is your calling in life. It will help you, and help the other program I want to help on parents and teenager resolution. Then I want to have a program for marriage. I want to have a product for when you come after, what college you choose, and then when you come after college, what is next for you. And then I have programs for entrepreneurship, and then I have what's very next for my company is targeting people with divorce. I've been in very difficult divorce or any abusive relationship, because those people have no voice, and those people they are lost. So when they have a vision, even if I build them a vision, they don't know what to do with that. So they need to learn how to build their own, how to pay their own bills. My background in accounting, I didn't know how to pay my own bills, and it used to be a point of shame, and now I say it freely because I resolved it. Then I want to have a program for legal, because in this system, legal is only for fight, but you can resolve peacefully. legal issues with your former spouse, if it has to be done. Then job and career, maybe you have to find, right now you work in accounting for a few years and then you figure out what you're really supposed to do with your life. And then those women, very often, they stop taking care of themselves. So I want to have image consulting and exercise program and taking pictures and reminding them that second chapter of your life could be even better than the first one.
Right. Okay. So let me get this.
So the physical location, give me a second and I'll get to your answer. So the physical locations are important because when you're going through abuse, you need your physical location to be helped.
Right.
So that's how it is. And yes, it's most likely going to be franchise. And I'm not there yet. So the second step is to create the network. And I will create it on the website first and then create the physical locations.
Okay, so are you starting? Okay, so what I heard is that there's going to be multiple different programs, but they're basically revolved around, if you will, family nucleus, or as the family nucleus maybe even is separating in some way. But think of the children. Okay, there's going to be a children piece where. Were you using it as an analogy for the potty training, or is it that you're going to actually have potty training there?
No, it will be. So it's not just for families. You could be divorced. It's actually going to be focused on divorced families more than other families. And you could have, and the other pieces is going to be empty nesters, and the other piece is when your loved one passes away. Because I believe, why would you put them in a box where you could build a tree? So what if we have a forest instead of stones? So it's basically any transition in your life that you have, you could come to those locations and find the community and help to go to the next level.
Okay, so okay, so like potty training or like becoming an entrepreneur as a young teen or
no, yeah, but you can be an adult. You could go through divorce. You could go through job, changing the jobs. You could go through changing in careers. You could go through your children grow, and now you empty nester. What's next? You could go through your marriage. Empty nesters, they usually need to reconnect with each other and things like that. So it doesn't matter the next level in your life. There is it's like a Costco of self-development.
Okay, so got it. Costco of self-development. That's good. I like that. Okay, so you rise. So you're rising to the next level. You're going through a transition and you're rising through that transition to the next level. And it's a guided rise as you're rising that you can then find your clarity and any kind of unblocking that needs to take place, so that you're then transitioning, rising in a healthy way to be able to get to your best self in the for your next chapter. Am I getting it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And thank you, because it's my very first time publicly actually talking about it.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about this, so you threw it on me. You sprung something new on me, Veronica. So that's why I'm like, I'm listening and trying to get it, because guys, I didn't know about this, and that's fine though. I'm excited about this. So when did you come up with all of this? How long have you been working on this?
It took about the whole vision like that, maybe 4 or 5 years, and I'm not nearly in an implementation implementation is still happening. So the ideas there and here start. Maybe the first idea was actually started a spiritual school about 10 years ago, but it's all came together around maybe 2015 when I realized what's happening, and it's refining itself. Every time I talk about it, something else shows up. So,
well, so now that you've gotten, at least you've got the basics figured out. I mean, of course, things will change. It always does as you're starting a new project and you're starting something so big. Now, do you have other people working with you on this, or is it just you?
It's just me, and I'm still going through a lot of challenges on a regular basis.
Okay, all right. So what is the next step for you then? Okay, so if you were to say, okay, This is the You Rise movement. So, Veronica, you've come into the You Rise movement. You're in the process of rising into your next step, which is the You Rise movement. But if you were now, let's step outside of Veronica and have you be, let's say I'm Veronica and you're talking to me and you're counseling me in your, with your theories and your program. And I have this idea and I'm telling you about it. And what would your piece of advice be for me? What would be the nugget that I'd be walking out from my first time of meeting with the counselor from the You Rise movement?
Well, you get, and you can do it now because I have a clarity sessions in my website where it's already developed. It's just at some point there will be 2,000 people doing what I'm doing today.
Okay.
So you get step-by-step instruction. What is very next for you? What is the next step that you take?
Okay. So it's a step-by-step program. So do you have a program in place right now that you're using as a pilot?
Well, it's not a pilot. So right now I'm more in the role of a coach or a mentor. Okay. So I have two. I have a group coaching pilot, and it's not pilot. It's been for 2 years. I've been doing it. I just, at some point it's gonna go to the place of network, and at some point it's gonna go to the place of movement. It just takes, when you have a big vision, it takes longer to accomplish. So I do have a program. I've been doing it for 2 years, and with our mutual friends, and you've seen the results with them. Where we create clarity and remove energetical blocks. And I do it through personal VIP services, and then I do it through group coaching, where we meet once a week and we just mostly working on removing blocks. So those two programs been there for 2 years, and they are quite successful. And anybody who goes through them doubles their income, drastically changes quality of relationship, and find the life fulfillment.
Well, there you go. You can't get much better than that. So if someone wanted to work with you, how did they get a hold of you?
You could send me a private message through Facebook, or you could you can book a session with me on the website www.yourise.today.
Oh, today. That's cool.
Yeah, You Rise Today.
I like that. That's very cool.
No, it's not .com. It would be somebody else. It's yourise.today.
.today. Okay. So as we close, I do want to show some pictures before we decide to close here, because I did capture some. And do you mind? I know that you said that your children are like your business. So is it all right if I show a picture of you with the kids?
So you have one?
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know what you have, but go ahead.
There you go. I have one of you at the beach with them, and they're adorable. They're adorable, and they have a lot of stuff going on. Your son, you guys look, he's not that big, and he's building his own computer.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, but he was raising money for the last half a year, because I couldn't do what he wanted me for a while. And so he was raising money from every family member.
So he's not only
he was going through major adversity because dad said no, and that is in computer development, and dad said, you're not gonna do that. And so I found a way, and he spends hours every day to find every single part. He goes on YouTube 24/7 and finds the way to build a computer. Yeah, he wants to build his own computer. I said, sweetheart, can we buy you a computer? It's cheaper. He said, no, I'm building one. The one I want, I'm building it.
Wow, that's determination. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. I mean, now I noticed the Toastmasters. Did you tell me about that? Did you go to Toastmasters as to learn speaking?
I did a little bit of that last year. Oh, but what you're talking about is something maybe different. Yes, I did Toastmaster last year, but you're talking about one of, I had a speaking engagement in Malibu Toastmaster group. So that's where
Okay.
I was a speaker.
Okay, so you went to Toastmasters, you did the program some last year, and then you were actually invited to be a speaker.
Yeah.
Awesome. How does that feel? How does it feel? Because, one thing I do want to actually address this, because you had quite a few, you've had to overcome a few different things in your life. And I was really surprised when you were talking about this weekend. You ran on the stage, and that was the first time you've ever ran?
Yeah, well, and not yes and no. I've ran many times, but what happened? So because of a dyslexia, so I was born wrapped in umbilical cord 3 times, and I didn't speak until the age of 3. When I started speaking, I start channeling because I'm 4th-generation intuitive, and it wasn't safe, and I was different, and I was weird, and my parents were afraid that they're gonna put me in, they're gonna lock me in a hospital or something, or send me somewhere. So they showed me to a doctor, and doctor so my parents were trying to make me normal, and a doctor put me on adult portion of antidepressants at the age of 3.
Oh, wow.
It made me normal. I stopped talking, period, and then I start speaking like everybody else. And my hair completely fall apart. So I was born with completely curly hair, and now I have this. And what it did, it's messed up my cognitive skills were messed up as a part of umbilical cord, and it's messed up even more. Created a huge social anxiety. I had a very hard time to communicate with people all my life. And you guys, most of you don't know, but I have times to time social anxiety, and if something is triggered, it's very difficult. So what's happened this weekend? So I was going to school with military kids in childhood, and I never could run fast enough. So I could run, but I never could beat anybody.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because of what happened being wrapped in a umbilical cord, I've been told that I will not walk or talk. And yes, I'm walking on any high heels I want. I finished modeling school. I speak 3 languages fluently. And on top of that, and now I am on stages all over US.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened, I never could beat anybody when it comes to running. So what's happened this time, it kind of happened with as a God's blessing, because Joe Ortega, he asked for one person on the stage, and 2 of us showed up. And
right. Yeah.
we thought I thought I'm gonna speak and I can beat anybody in storytelling, because I've been trained by people like Allison Larson, and if you're trained by Allison Larson, you can do anything. And
yeah.
you've been trained by Allison Larson, so you know that. And what Joe asked us to do is to run against each other to show that running is like a business. And the guy was 6.3 tall and was trying to do this, blocking me, but I beat him.
Yeah, he was. It was almost like a tackle.
Well, because with entrepreneurship, you get to, he had no idea what, and so that's about the clarity. That the reason why I share it, because it has to do with a clarity. I had a specific amount of dollars in my mind on the other side of that run. And I because it's not that I won because I'm physically stronger. I won because I'm here, stronger than anybody else. And I knew that I wanted so badly, and I knew that I'll make it this month if I run, and I did. Because
yes, you did.
Our mental and our physical together.
Interesting. Okay, you didn't have time to share all of that. And so
I was shaking when I was giving testimonials.
Yeah. So let's see. I want to share the picture of the whole group. There we are. So let's see. He is in that group, right? He's the one that's standing right next to you,
Red
right?
glasses, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see the picture. You don't share it with me, but yeah, red glasses.
Oh, okay. Yes. He has the right glasses. He's right next to you. He's between you and Dell.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that was the panel that we were on Saturday. So that was a great day. And then let's see, I do have a picture of the two of you, you and Allison Larson. It was one of the times that you were both on radio. You were probably on one of her radio shows or on Voice America.
Yeah. It was amazing day.
Yeah. And so then, see, we have some others. Of course, you've worked with Roger Salam. There's a picture of the two of you. And then we also have another one that most people will recognize. We have the Wish Man. We have Frank Shankwitz, that you're with Frank in that beautiful blue. What is that? That's a really beautiful. It's not quite a jacket.
What I want to say about Frank Shankwitz is when we go on Facebook Lives, we think that nobody watching us. We think that we are alone and it's just waste of time. Frank Shankwitz came to me later in January and then another event, not the event on the picture. And he said to me, "Hi, sweetheart, I follow you on Facebook." So founder of Wishman follows me on Facebook. So I just want to let you guys know that you never know who watches you on Facebook. So just have a courage to go and talk.
You know, that's very good. That's good advice, and I can concur on that one, because it's almost shocking nowadays because of the fact that I have a daily show, so I and it it's like in reruns already, right? As you're done, it reruns again. So it's and so through the day you don't know how many people have seen it, because it's hundreds of people or thousands. And what has happened to me, and I concur, is that I even was invited to be on a webinar by a company in a country far away in another part of the world, and because I've been watching the show, and you really never know. And so that is good advice. That's a service hero tip. In fact, we'll use that as our tip for the day today. And that, I love that. And then let's see, I have to, your face here is just too much fun. It's what it is. It's you must have been at the racetrack, at the Del Mar racetrack.
Yeah. So it's my very first time in a race. I don't see any pictures, so when you describe, I kind of remember.
Right. Yeah.
So it's it's my manifestation thing. I've never been on a racetrack. I always wanted. So God bless Linda Sunshine. She knows a lot about it, so she invited me, and we had a lot of fun that day.
Yeah, your face is just, that's why I had to bring it up, because your face is just pure joy. and anybody that's having that kind of joy in their whole being, you don't see it very often. And you share one thing, possibly it's because of that clarity, possibly, that when you have something like that and it's your joy, you radiate joy.
Well, it's because I'm a healer. So healers are usually a higher frequency than everybody else. And joy is one of the highest frequency on the planet. So there is, if I would be prepared, I would have there is a pictures where there is a frequency of every emotion, and joy is one of the highest emotions on the planet.
I had no idea, but I definitely can concur that when this woman's feeling a lot of joy, everybody knows it. Everybody in the room knows it. It's like you have sunshine just coming out of you everywhere, and it's contagious. It's just absolutely contagious.
Well, you have the same quality. That's why you recognize it. Like when you have joy on the stage, everybody can feel it.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Well, I have to say that the event that Joseph Ortega, a big shout out to Joseph, because his event on Saturday, his event on Saturday was so, it was very impactful to me, and it was impactful to everyone in that room. And I have feeling there was a lot of very interesting people in that room, and I think it was just a power of a lot of people pulling together to make something pretty outstanding take place, and that's what happened. And I'm sure you had a big part of that.
Well, I just started working with him, so I haven't big part of his transformation yet, but I think what's amazing about him is that he's paving his own way, and he barely finished high school. He's 23-year-old, and he does so much for the world. It's just unbelievable to watch, and it's very transforming and inspiring. And I've seen him in many situations. He's truly genuine human being, and it's very few people like that.
Yes, and being a nonprofit, there are those in the industry, that the speaking industry and the summit industry, and those people that have tools to help you succeed. And there's some that are very generous to the nonprofit people that are willing to get out there and put themselves out on the line. And he's definitely one of them. And I have to say, thank you. Thank you so much. It was very helpful, and it couldn't have been at a better time, because, as you know, now people are starting to find out. Yes, I was in a bit of a car accident the day before, and in fact, you helped me some, and I thank you for it, because I seriously didn't know how I was going to get through that day. And had you not walked in, and I didn't know you were going to be there, had you not walked in, I might have been on the floor.
Well, I think that it's with my social anxiety, when I've learned, and now I learn, and I do different things, and I do different tricks, and I didn't recognize it before. Like, whoever meets me first is kind of helped me to go through the day, or puts me down for the rest of the day. And I've learned how to overcome it now. But it's like seeing your big joy and a big hug. And I came, and the first thing that came is like, that's exactly who I need right now.
I know. I was like, oh, yes, I will survive.
And it was great. And what I did, I didn't do anything special. It's just when we going through car accident and actually being super vulnerable here and transparent. I went through 2 car accidents in the last 3 months, and 90% of people don't know that. When you're going through car accident, so it reminded me what happens when you go through car accident. That's the initial shock. It stays in your body, and it's become, you start having health issues. So what I did for you, I removed that initial shock, so all the health issues would dissipate before they even show up.
Which was very good, because I don't need any additional health issues. That's not a good idea. So, we've got Sharon showed up, and she's saying hello to Rose. So I don't know if Rose is here too, but we've got Sharon, who is our senior ambassador for Chemo Buddies for Life.
Hi, Sharon.
And I have to say that I am so excited that one thing about Sharon is that no one will probably ever get to see her, but everybody knows Sharon. And so what she did is she actually did a voice clip. And then what I did was I put some pictures and stuff together, and so that we had that with a little music, and so that people can kind of feel like they're getting to know her a little bit more. So Sharon, hello. And there's Rose. Okay, so Rose is another nonprofit, and she has a nonprofit that deals with vets that have some kind of that, like her vet, that Tim, one of her co-founder with the company or the nonprofit, he's in a wheelchair. He's a vet, a handicap vet, challenged vet, and she comes from medical as a nurse. She was at a high level, and so she is helping the caretakers to be able to know how to work with the vets. And then Tim's doing cool things in his motorized chair, like teaching them how to make birdhouses and work with the wood and get back into making, making a difference and having a life and doing something, hobbies and cool things. Okay, and then disabled veterans suffering from PTSD. Thank you, Rose. I needed that. Yes, I'm still a little foggy, guys. So thank you for the help. Thank you for the love. And yes, and as she's prompting me, reminding me to say to you, Veronica, congratulations and welcome to the Service Heroes Club.
Thank you so much.
And actually, Teresa Schneider coined that for us, that we do have the Service Heroes Club. So thank you, guys. And I'm feeling the love. I'm seeing the hearts. We've got them going on now. Thank you guys for engaging. I was thinking, where's our folks? Where's our peeps? We'll get them a rerun. So, where I want to go with this is, before we close, I'm going to start inviting people, and you are now part of the Service Heroes Club. So you will be officially invited. We are having a party in Vegas. It is actually, it's going to be the first fundraiser for Chemo Buddies for Life. And yes, I know, yay. And it is going to be on Giving Tuesday. So if you can't make it to Vegas, you can be a part of the marathon through the day, because we are going to do this big. There's no little when it has to do with what Tamara does. You know, she shows up big. She's going to, but you know, I'm not doing most of it. I have to shout out to the volunteers. We have a whole team of people on. In fact, I'm driving to Vegas tomorrow to go meet all sorts of people that they're like, okay, we just met this person and that person. They want to, you know, they want a team. They want to do this. So it is going to be a party. So if you can come on November the 27th, you want to be there. And everybody, all you guys out there, participate with us. Come to Vegas. We're going to have tickets. We're going to have that website up here soon, and so that you can purchase tickets. And if you can't be in Vegas, you can be a part of the party through the day. We're going to have a marathon where I don't know how it's going to work yet, but I've got a lot of our friends that are like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll take an hour. I'll do this. It will be fun. I'll do that. So might be a modern day streaming, not quite like the Jerry Lewis telethons, you know, but kind of like a modern day service hero benefiting Chemo Buddies for Life. Let's have some fun marathon. How do you like that?
That sounds fantastic. I'm so excited for you, because you just had a vision, you make it happen.
Yep. That's, you know, there you go. Well, I will say, I went up to Park City to spend some time with Allison Larson, and I walked away with a date and a nonprofit fundraiser in my hand. So yes, it's a combination. We're in with some really good people, and that's the bottom line. And so we've got.
And I agree. Allison Larson is one of the biggest heart I've ever met, and Allison Larson is a very, very strong speaker. And I had a choice. I was thinking you're gonna pull out. Like I met Les Brown in person, and he's amazing and he's phenomenal. But when I had a choice, I chose that my first mentor. I wanted it to be Allison, because she's a phenomenal when it comes to being combine those feminine energy and being very effective on a stage.
Absolutely. Big shout out. We love you, Allison Larson.
We love you, Allison.
I don't know anybody that doesn't. Anybody that's
I actually was thinking about it as I was on a panel, and you and I were on a lot of panels, and we were on 2 or 3 panels together, you and I, and I've been on a lot of panels, but I've never seen a stronger panel than Joey's Ortega panel. And I probably would not be able, and I was sitting at the end, you were sitting in the beginning. So at the end, you have to bring heavier stuff and being even more effective. And
right.
And thanks to Allison Larson training on how to go through the interviews, I was able to pull it up where people would applaud and people would listen and people would talk. And people come to me after and ask me about things. So thank you, Allison, for all your training and everything that you've done for me and Tamara. We love you with all our heart.
Yes, we were the bookends. We were the bookends of this amazing panel. And I'll put the panel up again because I've got your picture with Allison, and then I've got the panel. So it really worked out that Veronica was on the other end. So anyway, I just want to say you are amazing. You threw me for a loop, and you knew you were going to, didn't you? You are so much fun.
Actually, thank you, because I should start speaking about my big vision more. And so thank you. It's kind of happened. I don't think we threw anybody on a loop. It just was God's way to share. It was my very first time to share on Facebook what is my very big vision is. So thank you so much.
You know what? That just makes me feel that much better too. Thank you for trusting me and finding that this is a platform that you'll have unconditional love and support from not only me, but all of the people that join us. In fact, we've got Go Girl. I think that it's Go Girls, right, Rose? And then Sharon's like, that's so cool. And so you guys are just awesome. Everybody, and I know, welcome to those that are watching this in reruns, because this is just a fun place to be and a fun place to hang out. And if you can ever catch this show when it's live, we have fun. It's a great forum because we are celebrating the fact that people are doing some really great things. They're serving others. They're finding success. And they're giving back. And in doing so, you have a much more fulfilled heart and soul, and everything just goes a lot better. Right?
I completely agree.
Well, there you go. Okay. Well, I'm feeling so much better. See, even just their time together, I started this and I had a little bit of a headache. It's gone. I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something, and I thank you. So, my dear Veronica, as we close day number 135 of 365 days of awesome, celebrate success through service, I want to thank you for being the service hero that you are. Thank you for helping me on Saturday when I really needed you. Thank you for taking me out of the room before it started, getting me in a quiet place, and helping me to get to a place where I knew I could get through the day.
Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for having the courage to have that big, ambitious vision and make it work, because you are the one woman behind the whole thing. And thank you for always seeing me for who I am. And it was a couple of times where I didn't have to drive all the way back to San Diego from Los Angeles, where I could stay with you. And thank you for every time you see me and you are being there for me. And you are moving rooms you are moving stages. I've seen what the reaction Joe Ortega had on Saturday when you shared your story. You're becoming so much powerful in your presentations, and what you're doing is it's being very transformational and inspirational for me to see how much you grew and grow next to you. So thank you so much.
Wow. Well, you know what? You just floored me. So this is what it's all about, guys. Can I just go and share that in getting out there, if you're building anything, if it's yourself, if it's your family, if it's your neighborhood, if it's your community, if it's a company, if it's a nonprofit, if it's to get in front of stages, whatever it is that you're doing, don't do it alone. I know that's my message for my nonprofit, but it goes along everywhere. And that right there, just shared it again, is don't do it alone. There are so many good people. There's a Service Heroes Club, and everybody has a service hero in them. So what does that really tell you in the end, guys? Yeah, that's kind of where we're going. That the Service Hero Club should be that everybody that wants to be a part of it really can by serving another. And that's simple acts of kindness is all it takes. But get out there, make friends, and serve them. And in serving them, it's amazing how it just creates this energy that flows and everybody wins. You were there for me. I have been there for you, and we were there for others. Isn't that the way it works?
That's the way the world should work, and that's why you and I on a mission.
That's right. Absolutely. So true. Okay, so you're going to put that in your date book, right? You're going to try to get to Vegas, and if you're not in Vegas, you're at least going to be a part of our marathon, right?
I actually think my intuition says I have to be there for you, so I'll do my best. I don't promise 100% publicly, but I'll check if I can do it.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, guys, go out and make it an amazing day, and go and serve another, and find a way to get out there. I want to challenge people to start looking for a networking group, looking for a community center, looking for a place that you can go and serve others with like-minded goals, and see how you can team with others, because it's amazing what happens. Look at this interchange here. It truly is a miracle how things work, and I love it. I love it. All right, you, my friend, go make it a great day. Go spend some time with those two lovely children of yours, and I'm sure you have some coaching and stuff too. Just make it amazing time, okay?
Thank you, and so are you. Thank you so much, and thank you for everybody watching.
Okay, see you later.
Bye.
I will see everybody tomorrow, maybe even again tonight, because I think they're going to put me on a live again, but I'm not sure about that. I'm waiting to see what my volunteers are doing. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Bye.
You're welcome.